Before the gods ever fell, before Ragnarök was even whispered, something was already waiting beneath the world. Far below the surface of the ocean, where no light reaches and no ship dares to sail, a presence coils in endless darkness. It does not sleep. It does not dream. It grows. Wrapped around the world itself, hidden beneath the waves, lies Jormungandr, the World Serpent. Born of Loki and cast into the sea by Odin, Jormungandr was never meant to be just a creature. As it grew, its body stretched farther and farther until it encircled the entire world, biting its own tail, locking Midgard inside an unbreakable ring of fate. The oceans did not simply surround the land, they were bound by it. For ages, the serpent remained unseen, its massive form shifting slowly beneath the waves. Every tide, every storm, every unnatural swell of the sea was a reminder that the world was being held, restrained by something vast and alive. Sailors spoke of shadows moving beneath their ships, fishermen vanished without a trace, and the gods knew the truth. Because when Jormungandr releases its tail, the world will break. The serpent is not a mindless beast. It is a living omen. Its existence is tied to the end of all things. When it rises from the ocean, poison will flood the skies and seas alike. Mountains will tremble, the boundaries of the world will collapse, and destiny itself will be forced into motion. One god stands against it. Thor, the god of thunder, sworn enemy of the World Serpent, whose fate is bound to Jormungandr by blood, venom, and prophecy. Their clash is inevitable. It has been written since the moment the serpent was cast into the sea. And now, the ocean begins to stir. Jormungandr did not simply exist beneath the ocean, it ruled it. As the World Serpent grew, its coils tightened around Midgard, stretching across the depths until sea and fate became one. Its body formed an endless ring, holding the world in place, biting its own tail as if sealing destiny itself. The oceans moved at its will. Storms followed its shifting form. The world lived unknowingly inside the grasp of a living apocalypse. The gods watched in silence. Odin knew what the serpent represented. Jormungandr was not meant to be destroyed, not yet. It was a boundary, a warning, a force that would one day rise when the end of all things arrived. Until then, it waited beneath the waves, patient and eternal. But fate has a way of drawing enemies together. Thor, god of thunder, felt the presence of Jormungandr long before he ever saw it. Across the vast ocean, their hatred echoed like distant thunder beneath the sea. They were bound by prophecy, each destined to face the other, each destined to fall because of it. Even when disguised by illusion, even when hidden by magic, the serpent and the thunder god were always aware of one another. Once, Thor nearly faced it. Disguised as a simple fishing trip with the giant Hymir, Thor cast a line into the deepest waters, baited with the head of a great ox. From the abyss, Jormungandr rose, jaws closing around the hook. The sea erupted. Waves towered like mountains as Thor pulled with divine strength, dragging the World Serpent toward the surface. For a moment, god and monster locked eyes, thunder and venom colliding in a stare that shook the heavens. But the battle was not yet meant to end. The line was cut. Jormungandr sank back into the depths, and destiny was delayed. Until Ragnarök. When the final age began, Jormungandr stirred. The serpent released its tail. The ring that bound the world was broken. Oceans surged over the land, swallowing shores and cities alike. Poison poured from the serpent's jaws, spreading through sea and sky, choking life itself. The balance of the world collapsed as the World Serpent rose from the depths at last, no longer hidden, no longer waiting. And Thor answered. With Mjolnir in hand and thunder at his command, Thor charged across the shattered land. Storms followed his steps. Lightning split the sky as god and serpent collided in the final battle foretold since the dawn of time. Jormungandr struck with waves and venom, its colossal body crashing against the earth. Thor answered with hammer and storm, each blow echoing across the broken world. At last, Thor struck true. Mjolnir shattered the skull of the World Serpent. Jormungandr fell, its massive body collapsing into the poisoned sea. The World Serpent was dead. But victory came at a price. Thor staggered forward, victorious yet doomed. One step, then another. The serpent's venom filled the air, burning through even a god's strength. After 9 steps, the god of thunder fell. Thunder faded. The storm went silent. The world stood broken, gods and monsters alike fallen, destiny fulfilled. Jormungandr had encircled the world, and in its death, helped end it. When the battle ended, the ocean fell silent. The body of Jormungandr lay still beneath poisoned waves, its coils no longer binding the world. The serpent that once encircled Midgard, that held fate in its grasp, was gone. And with its death, the age of gods came to a close. Thor, the god of thunder, did not rise again. His hammer lay silent beside him, the storm forever stilled. Victory had been claimed, but it was a victory that cost everything. In the end, even the mightiest gods were not spared by destiny. The seas slowly retreated. The sky cleared. What remained was a broken world, scarred, emptied, and transformed. Ragnarök had fulfilled its purpose. Destruction had passed through the world, leaving silence in its wake. But the end was not the end. From the ruins of the old world, something new began to stir. Life returned where death once ruled. The cycle, long foretold, continued. The world, no longer bound by the serpent's coils, was free to be reborn. Jormungandr did not vanish into nothingness. Its legacy remained etched into the oceans, into the storms, into the very shape of the world. It was never just a monster. It was a boundary, a warning, a reminder that even gods are subject to fate. And so the World Serpent passed into legend, not as a beast that lost, but as a force that shaped the end of an age. Because some creatures are not meant to survive the story, they are meant to end it.